slaves anymore because we're not slaves.
If you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel. Eat your largest meals in the middle of the day, not the end of the day.
What part the homeostasis plays, you're on your way to healing yourself. The homeostasis is the internal environment where your body is at its ultimate functionality for healing.
Just keep in mind that everything that is happening to you is happening for you.
Hey everybody, we're gonna I think that was beautiful. All right, we're growing, we're moving, and this is great. You see that little delay here, so I'm gonna see how we're gonna deal with this. Well, I want to say welcome as we figure this out. Oh, good, that's better. Oh, there's still a little delay here, so we have some new cameramen, and we're just working it all out. Uh, okay, so what I would like to do here is invite everybody here to the show this morning. We're talking about uh, cancer prevention, and this is going to be really, really great. Uh, Carolyn is here. Carolyn, this is really great. Um, I am uh,
Figuring it all out. Can you hear me? Hi.
well, we hear echoing what we're doing, everybody, so that you'll know we're combining something new. Instagram right now is we're all on, from one headquarters now.
Yes.
So we figured it all out.
I think what you can probably do is, let's see, turn the volume down on your computer.
Okay.
Let's do that. Turn the volume down on your computer, and then I can see you great on Instagram. So it should be. Are you getting like a echo?
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you. You're echoing.
Am I echoing for you as well?
Yes, I'm echoing also.
Okay.
For those of you that just joining us, please be patient. We're just going to take a few seconds and figure this out. We can do it. And welcome. Thank you very much for being here this morning.
Hello to everyone. First, let me just go ahead and say you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. And today's topic is cancer prevention. And we are handling the tech issues, but it's going to work out just fine. While you are waiting, can you share the live? Share the live. I know we're live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Instagram. I see Miss Bell already in the house saying watching all the way from Pittsburgh. Hey, Miss Bell, how you doing? Great to see you. All right. Let's see here.
Okay, so all right.
Are you able to see the comments on Instagram? I just put one up just so you can. Just in the comment on Instagram.
On Instagram?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. Let me just go back. I'm working on the sound because I still have the delay. Oh yes, I can see it now.
Okay. All right, that's great. I think the only way we would have been able to do this is to actually go live. Tilt your camera, your computer down just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see here.
Gotcha. All right. So anyway, I want to say anyway, get into it, but if it's, let me see.
I don't know, because I hear it fine on my end. I don't hear any delays, or I'm sorry, any echoes or anything like that. So I'm not sure what you're hearing on your side.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead. I don't know if we can go. I want to go forward, but I know that delay. Okay.
Let me see if I can.
Did you hear that delay?
No.
Okay. I don't know. But let's go ahead and start. We're going to talk about some of the things that we can do for cancer prevention today. And if you have cancer, how you should be, or some of the ideas that you can use to manage cancer. Um, ooh, that's going to be rough. Let's see here. Oh, good. We got great. Come on in, everybody. Just keep coming in. We're figuring out how to bring this to you as best as we can. With technology, we're growing. All right.
Hello, Shanizi. How are you? I hope I'm saying that correctly. I believe I am. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
So,
and Miss Bell put in the comments, I'm a 9-year survivor of DCIS.
that's awesome. Hey, Michelle. That just saw a wonderful picture of Larry and Michelle together. They been together for many, many years. So beautiful couple. All right, I'm looking for one sec. I think that I'm gonna. What we doing here? And I know it sounds like what in the heck is going on here?
Right.
Because we're getting feedback. So I get the echo cancellation.
Just doing a little
Testing 1, 2, 3.
testing. Yeah.
Okay. So let's start off with. I don't know. We're just gonna start off with it like this. Carolyn, what kind of things that you've witnessed, or the kind of things that you've been through as a woman, as far as female breast cancer? Have you had any experiences with that, or any other sisters that you know that have experienced it?
No, I haven't. I have not. And as far as in my family, breast cancer, no. The closest I think I've gotten to cancer in my family is my aunt, who had leukemia. So that was definitely I think any cancer really is just a difficult situation for family members and close friends to go through, you know. So definitely this is a topic that can never really get old, because we are experiencing cancer you know, frequently. Close friends, family, things like that. I had a cousin that just passed actually from cancer a week and a half ago. So, you know, it's something that hits home for many, and can be a sad occasion, definitely, when we're dealing with any kind of cancer diagnoses or anything close to it. Hey, Shirley, good morning. Good morning. We are going through just some tech issues. So just bear with us as you're coming in. Please share the live. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and we have added Instagram, and Instagram is giving us a little tussle, but that's okay. We're going to keep going and make it happen. So as you're coming in, please share the live so others can be a part of the conversation. Thank you all so much for joining us here. We are here every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you all again so much for joining us. How you doing over there, Dr. Zarif?
I'm doing my best to pretend like I'm not bothered with this.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Well, do you want to just go ahead? I don't know exactly what to do in that case. I would have just probably deleted Instagram if that were the case, but I don't know exactly what we can do right now. If you can bring your volume down, maybe, or minimize Instagram. If you can minimize it and not see it, maybe that would help.
What I did is I took off. I think I got it.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, there's no echo now. So great. For those of you that are with us this morning over at Instagram, those people that are with us on Facebook, I welcome you. We welcome you again. Sorry about the real rough start there. We're figuring out some things, and that's just how it goes. We're talking about fighting cancer. We're talking about working on things that will make it better for us. One of the things that we know that we have a problem in the African American community. And in the African American community, there may be the reasons that we'll discuss as we continue in this presentation this morning. We want you to share this with people. Get them up, give them a call, tell them that we're on so that we can have them here, and maybe they'll have things that they want to share with also. You know, just like we just dealt with these like these things that come up when you're moving forward. This is not anything different than anything that you would do when you're starting something and is new to you, like eating, for instance. Sometimes we get uncomfortable with eating, and what I mean by that, when it comes to eating healthier food, we're so used to eating food that will actually compound the things that we're facing physically, and we still don't want to do it because it becomes a big habit. And the same thing, we're used to coming on and flicking a couple of switches and we're on, but you have to be willing to keep going, because when you don't keep going, what happens, you get frustrated, you get flustered, and then you're doing the same thing that caused it in the first place. Everybody got that? I'm just like using that so that I can pretty much give you an idea that sometimes it's just not smooth. That's just the way it is. Let me see if I'm still clicking stuff off. And I wanted to welcome, I think you've already welcomed everybody. So let's get with it. One of the things that I want to talk about as far as as cancer is, first of all, so that you can really understand the cancer. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, that's also called CDC. Cancer is a term that's used for diseases in which the abnormal cells divide without control. There's no control. The things that they do functionally, the things that are normally and commonly done functionally, is discontinued, or is all control is lost, and it can take over all of the tissues. Cancer cells can spread to other parts of the body through the blood and the lymph systems. Now, some people don't even believe that there is an immune system. They don't believe that there's a lymph system, and those people will continue to spread that disinformation around. So we got to really understand that everybody isn't saying the same thing. And this is one of the things that you have to be aware of. You should be working with an oncologist. Oncologists work specifically with cancer. So these are cancer doctors, so to speak. So make sure that you know that, so that you'll get the absolute highest knowledge out there to assist you, or the team that can assist you with the understanding and working with cancer. And cancer cells, as they can spread to other parts of the body, and they do it again through the blood and the lymph system. Cancer is not just one disease. Cancer are many diseases. Now, a person who can lower their risk of getting some of the common kinds of cancer, and the things that we all share, like maybe stomach cancer, maybe cancer of the lungs, or oral cancer, those kinds of things, skin cancer. Some of the things that right off, you've probably already heard these, but want you to add this to your list if you haven't. Some of the healthy choices. Keeping your healthy weight. Healthy weight is number one. It's super important, that meaning that you are operating, or your body is functioning with the way you perform, the way that you feel, and the way that you look. It is all a part of being healthy. So some of the things, again, besides the weight, would be avoiding tobacco. If you smoke, and I mean smoke, if you're smoking tobacco, and there's some other smoking activity that would also increase the risk of cancer. Limiting your alcohol intake is super important, not overdoing it. You shouldn't have over 3 glasses of alcohol per day. And then protecting your skin. This is important. I remember this earlier this year. I made this video about, if Black people should also have sunscreen. And that was, if you see that online, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. More people, we got a whole lot of people that view that over and over and over again, because some people actually were taught that SPF, we don't need that. It's built in us. The sun is, that's why Black people made the best slaves. Well, the slaves put something over their head, on their head, and they covered up too. They just weren't out in the sun. But over time, they did understand some of the effects that were, or derogatory effects of the sun. So besides besides what we just talked about, screening tests, we talked about the screening, making sure that you go for a screen is super important to find the cancers early. And this is super important because treatment works best when you discover a cancer early. Now, the vaccines, which are the shots, they can help you to prevent, or they can reduce the risk of cancer. Some of the things like HPV and hepatitis, these are things to keep in mind as you are on or just gathering more information about cancer. Now, those people that have cancer already, the same thing applies. Just making sure that, you know, eating the healthy food, getting the rest, the exercise, and a huge part of it is that whole social, the choice to be around people that are healthy and that speak healthy, that are constantly doing things to better their health. I have a lot of information here that I wanted to share with you today, and settling down after that rough start there. Just wanted you to share these things, and as well as, you know, taking notes, and you can always come back for a replay from wherever you're listening from. So the Black or African Americans have the highest mortality rates in any racial group. That's number one when it comes to cancer. These and as I said, all ethnic groups, we lead that, and the cancers combined are mostly experienced by Black people. Now, the death rates for all the major causes of death are higher in Black or African Americans than non-Hispanic whites, contributing to a part of the lower life expectancy for both Black and Black African American men and women. I'm just going to use Black here forth because it's just it gets confusing. Black, African American, colored, Afro-American, and I know we've been through the gamut of those things, but when I say Black, I mean those people that have this type of melanation. You're brown, you're dark brown people. From the year 2015 to 2019, African American men were 1.2 times and 1.7 times, respectively, more likely to have new cases of colon and prostate cancer as compared with non-Hispanic white men. So these are just for comparisons, so that I don't want to say a number and say compared to what. African American or Black men are 1.8 times likely to have stomach cancer as compared to non-Hispanic white men, and 2.5 times more likely to die from stomach cancer. The same thing with Black men have lower 5-year cancer survival rates for most of the cancer sites as compared with the non-Hispanic white men. Black men are twice as likely to die from prostate cancer as compared with the non-Hispanic white men. And in 2015 through 2019, Black men, no, this was on Black women, and Black women were just likely to have more diagnosed more for breast cancer. However, they were also or almost 40% more likely to die from breast cancer than compared to the non-Hispanic white women, which whenever it has a non-Hispanic white women, we're talking about Caucasians, of course. The Black African American women are twice likely to be diagnosed with stomach cancer, and they are 2.3 times more likely to die from stomach cancer as compared with non-Hispanic white women. Cancer kills most Americans, and in 2000, this year, let's just take this year, an estimated 609,820 people will die from cancer in the United States alone. Now, most of the cancer is the lung and bronchus cancer is responsible for most deaths in these deaths were for, and I'm just talking about this year, 127,070 people expected to die from this disease. That's nearly 3 times the 52,550 deaths due to colorectal cancer. Remember, we talked about that. We stayed on that. We discussed about those things of people that continue to eat large amounts of meat, and they're not eating the fiber. They're not eating any of the raw fruit. They're not eating any raw vegetables. And these are just some of the results or some of the outcomes from that kind of behavior. Now, colorectal cancer is the second most common cause of cancer death. Lung cancer, or that when we talked about lung and bronchus cancer, that is number 1. Cancers diagnosed in the lungs and the bronchus are called lung cancer. Lung cancers typically, they start in the cells lining and the bronchi and parts of the lungs, such as the bronchioles and the alveoli. Now, most lung cancers are diagnosed in adults and not in children. It seems to have some kind of history of a certain behavior. And then there are situations where people have been doing things that are very healthy. Nevertheless, they still are confronted with these cancers, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's like, okay, what's going on? But we, as we continue to study, we find out that there are more things that we can actually understand as we continue to research. Now, there's a question about can lung cancer be completely cured? And this is one of the questions that are usually brought up when you're talking about cancer. Some types of lung cancer can be considered cured if the diagnosis if they're diagnosed before it starts to spread. The longer you take to go get an examination, the more the greater the chances of you getting lung cancer spreading throughout your body. Cured is not usually used when it comes to cancer, but if you are a person that have been in remission, you hear remission a lot, and you also hear NED or no evidence of disease. These are just some terms for those that are in remission. Now, when you're in remission for over 5 years, you might consider being cured. But if it's anything before that, just make sure that you stay on those things that or focus on those things that help you to be as healthy as you want to be. And I say it that way because everybody gives themselves permission to be healthy, or they give themselves permission to keep eating in a fashion that is self-destroying. Know more about yourself is what we talk about every week. Understand what you are, who you are, and so forth. I'm going to just take a few more seconds here, and then we're going to go to the wonderful Carolyn Gento so we can reset this room. It's a new study that I was thinking about that demonstrates that human gut microbiome may be a factor in breast health. Now, we also did a room on that. We did a presentation on that, and it was very well accepted. Your microbiome, this get more into your gut health. That's what it actually means. And this has been found to, or at least right now theorized, that by taking care of your gut biome, you can also reduce the chances of different cancers. Now, lifestyle and your diet have been long known as to affect your human health. So your lifestyle includes, again, I keep going back to the social part, who you with, who you hang around with. And when I say that, I ain't talking about just your friends. I'm just talking about where you go to visit, who's visiting you, the peace of mind that you have. All working on that peaceful state of mind is super important. I know it's square to some people. It's like, they ain't doing that. Well, it really comes down to your health is a reflection of the permission that you give yourself to be healthy. Nobody else. It's all on you. So let me stop right here. As we get in, well, before I stop, I should just talk a little bit about that lifestyle and diet. It's been around every time we talk about cancer. Like in the study of flaxseed components, these are called lignans. It was shown to influence the relationship between the gut microorganisms and the expression of mammary glands or mammary gland microRNAs. A subset of these microRNAs regulates the genes involved in breast cancer, including the genes that control cell proliferation and migration. Okay, this was a study that was recently done in Microbiology Spectrum and the Journal of American Society and Microbiology. So right there, I'm going to just stop and let Carolyn, you want to come up and reset? And we'd love to hear you.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you. Thank you again, Dr. Zari, for that information. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today here in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. And I'm the co-host, Carolyn Gentle. We are here talking about cancer prevention. If you haven't already, please share the live. Please share it out. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. Thank you all so much for joining us. And Dr. Zarif, this is just what Yolanda had put up earlier today. She said, great topic, Dr. Zarif, and I would have to agree because this is, again, like I mentioned earlier, a topic that that's a sensitive topic whenever it comes to any kind of diagnoses with any friends and family. And I think a lot of people, they may have that same thought of, okay, how do I either avoid this or you're diagnosed with it. So how do I get through this? How do I, become that person that stays strong and get through a very serious disease? So great topic for sure. Great topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If those of you that have any questions, please make sure that you leave them in the comments. One of the things I want to go over, and this is mostly about my people. So, those people that feel like, oh man, it's a black thing. We got black people that think like that. This ain't all about just being black. This is about being human. But I know that we are, and I say we, I'm talking about the black culture. We lack when it comes to nutrition information. We've been talking about this for years, and it turns some people off because they've been turned off to themselves. And that's where we are. Is unfortunate that some people are like that, but I mean, that's the way it is. And I'm not here to save the world. I am here that you can and we can save ourselves. And that's where it starts with. When it comes to like black women, this is super important because this is the cradle of civilization. And although we have a lot of sisters now that seems like they're foregoing the wonderful, the majesty of themselves, they just seem to get farther and farther away from the things that will embellish this wonderful life that we've been given. But black women are twice as likely to be diagnosed with these diseases of other cultures, and they should be aware on a constant basis. Again, I want to remind you that it's harder to treat cancer if you go to, if you negate it and you don't go get an examination, or you hope or you wish that it goes away, or you're just saying, that, what, I'm looking for a miracle. Or those of you that even blame it on God, whatever your God, whoever your God is, you blame it on God to see me through this, is maybe in your mind, you have that belief. And this is when people start biting their tongue and getting nervous and all that. But what I say to you is, with no disrespect, however, what is necessary, I think, when people say God or Jesus or Allah or Yahweh or Jah, whatever you've chosen to believe in, there is action that is required with your prayer. There is action that you take with your belief. There isn't just, I believe this and boom, it's going to come right in my lap. So we have to get to work, because when you don't get these checkups, when you wait until the late stages, what happens is that it spreads faster. It spreads to different parts of the body. And then you end up with different diseases, leukemia, multiple myeloma, and so forth. You have all of these different challenges. But you can prevent that by seeing your doctor early and find out exactly what's going on. If you are hurting, and I'm talking to the ladies and men, if you are hurting or something is feeling like abnormal, get that checked out. Don't go from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, and say, I can get away with this. It'll go away. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has this great commercial. I don't know if you all seen. You seen this, Carolyn? It's a great commercial, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar says that he had heart problems for years, and then he was walking and he couldn't breathe. And instead of going to the doctor, what he did is he just said, it'll go away. And he said later he found out that it didn't go away. This man almost died, but he got his head together. He went and got a checkup, and now he's doing some things for, medications. But he is talking, it's a very great commercial, because he talks about his behavior, and his behavior was to put it off. He'll get around to it. I'm a man. It ain't going to hurt me. I've been through this before. I heard somebody else had this and they're okay. I'll be okay. It went on and on and on. You know what I mean, Karen?
Right.
Carolyn,
yeah. I do know what you mean. I haven't seen that commercial, but I mean, I'm sure that that's something that a lot of people can relate to, because you may feel that something is wrong and you say, I'll just brush it off. It'll go away. It's nothing. And then come to find out that it's not. So that's definitely something that I can relate to as well. Yes.
Awesome. That another thing is that, how are you going to, the people that like, I don't want to find out nothing. If something wrong with me, they act like it's going to go away because they don't find out about it. And let me hear what you think about this in the comments, or if you want to come up, we'll bring you on up. But we got a real big problem, and it ain't just being Black in America. It's thinking and staying in the dark. It's thinking and staying in the dark, and we're not allowing ourselves to walk into the sun and open our eyes to what can make us healthier. And
right.
There's no convenient time to be sick. It's like, okay, I start taking care of myself once I'm over 60, or I'll be after I'm a certain age. I'll be more responsible for. But right now, all I want to do is party. All I want to do is feel good. You see, and then we end up in the same place. Here comes 2024, and what are we doing? The same stuff that we did in earlier years. So that's why we want to change this now. Go get them, Carolyn.
Absolutely. I was saying prevention is definitely the name of the game, because you don't want to be diagnosed with something and then start taking those steps. And it's not to say to live in fear, because you may have some people that say, man, I mean, so much can happen. What should I do? Or I'm just not going to do anything, because when it happens, it happens, excuse me. But it's like, I don't know. For me, I've said it before, and just choosing to just eat in a different way. I didn't want to have to wait for the doctor to tell me, okay, you have this or you have that going on. I said, I'm going to go ahead and take the steps that I know I can do, the things that you have control over. And that is what I put into my body, what I'm eating. So, and that has a part to do with just prevention, because I've listened to you a lot, Dr. Zarif, talk about working out, eating right. And I have a smile on my face, and I'm kind of laughing because I remember when my sister and I, Michelle, used to go over to the office at in Inglewood. And at that office, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is right across the street. Okay. So there was no avoiding it. Okay. The smell would just be be coming into the office. And so that was one of those things that we would get Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And I remember it was kind of a joke where it was like we were there eating, and Michelle's like, oh, she looks out the window and says something like, oh, here comes Dr. Zarif. And we're like, oh my God, and we're like running to go and put stuff away. But the thing about it is, it's like, no, you have to do it for yourself. It's just like what you said before. Don't do it for me, do it for yourself. And that's what it's about, But I always remember that, because even though it's from afar, I've said it before, you really do help us to be able to stay on that path, on the right path. And you don't wait until something's going on for you to say, okay, I think I'm going to make that decision to eat better. You have to make that decision before, and just continue on with it. So that's my thought on that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Carolyn. It's like some people today too are, even if it's almost like people just want to suffer. I will get to that in a second. As I say, I wanted to point out again, 9 years, and this is Michelle here, Michelle to all of us, but Michelle is 9-year survivor. This woman is incredible. I want you to meet her, because this is definitely one of the living angel. She is so loving and so caring for, not only her own family and herself, but other people. She's amazing. She just really, you have to meet her, and she will give you the inspiration also to eat better and to work out and to be balanced. And it's just a really incredible person, and a beautiful example of what we need to do. And then we have Yolanda Rogers, and Yolanda Rogers is the same. This sister embraces the entire community, and she wants all of us to, to eat better and to make sure that we're getting proper rest. And this is what it takes in order for us as a community to be healthier. Because I know I hear this all the time. Yeah, Black power. You can have no Black power and you ain't got any power in your own body. We can't be strong leaders. We can't be a strong society. We can't be a strong culture if we don't take care of our body first. You got to take care of you first. If you're going to play with yourself again, here we go. And then you lie to yourself again, here we go. And if you tell somebody you're going to do something, but you don't do it, here we go. All of those are things that people do to just get by, but you might be able to get by, but you're not going to be able to get away. you need to really take care of yourself if you're really serious about it. If you're not serious about it, like ain't nobody out here trying to save a life that don't want to be saved itself. Like if you're talking about get out my face, I don't want to hear that about myself. Well, join the rest of the people that do that, because there's certainly more than the people that are eating the less than 3% of Americans are vegan, and about 3% or more are like vegetarian. So these little special groups, they seem like, ooh, they're trending, and they are, because people do want things different. And I'm glad, because you can just simply live longer, live stronger, make the decision, write this stuff down. Just don't, and first and now you have to eat more cabbage, and a broccoli flower has vitamin D. You don't, that kind of stuff keeps us right where we are. But you got to be willing to get out of that, break out of that shell, and be something more than what you've been, and not to be afraid of change. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable and to become comfortable with being uncomfortable long enough to be comfortable. Did I use the word enough? You see, comfortable sometimes can make you lazy as hell. You don't do anything. And then you got the whole fitness and health food comedians. The ones that always have a joke for all the healthy suggestions. Oh, well, me, man, I'm a rib man. And then you got people dying left and right. Did you hear those numbers that I gave you earlier? This is no joke. This is about taking care of yourself so that you'll be able to enjoy your grandchildren if you're blessed to get that age, to take care of any kind of these ideas that you have to grow and share the knowledge of what you did to grow, to be healthy, so that our children and their children and their children's children will be healthier than they are today. Children today are not healthy. Why? Because most of their menu, their diet is made up of stuff that will hurt them. And the same thing for adults. So let's go ahead. We talked about some of the cancers.
Dr. Zari?
Yes.
I had one comment that was in Instagram that I wanted to mention, because you were talking about why people don't go and get an examination. And it's from Santiago Bon 5. It says, I think many people are afraid to find out a bad diagnosis. And I do agree with that there's fear. There's absolutely fear there. And that's why people avoid doing that. So I just wanted to point that out. And that was from Instagram.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. Eotropistic people, or people that have eotropistic response, means that there's fear because of agnotology. Big words, but let me just simplify it. Eotropistic is like when people have, when some people see a car that's black and white, or a car that looks like the police car, and then they start driving all crazy because now they see the police and they slow way down, and they ride the brakes and stuff because they have this fear. Agnotology is a science of ignorance. And that's the kind of thing that we as Black people continually do. Every year we talk about the same stuff. We do the same stuff over and over. Our families continue to be sick. We continue to make that phone call. Did you know so-and-so died? Did you know that what? That young 50, 40, 35, what in the hell happened to him or her? Because we continue to repeat the kind of stuff that's not building us, but breaking us down and breaking us up. So we have to make a different decision if we want to get better. Now, I know that there are a lot of other people that call themselves nutritionists, there's dietitians, there's gastroenterologists and other specialists. but we want you to use the information that I'm sharing with you now, and Carolyn, the information that we're sharing, to get better with it, to put it in action, not to just talk about it while you're dripping barbecue sauce on your blouse. We really want you to get better and to do better, not because you're doing it for me, but do it for yourself. And that is super important, and not for him or for her. It's all about you. The biggest problem that we have isn't the food. It isn't where we're staying. It isn't the environment. It is what? It's because we are giving ourselves more time to things that are euphoric. We love to feel good. So we love entertainment. We love the party. We love sex. We love all of those things. And I just want to feel good all the time. So when it comes to, oh shit, I got to work for this. You mean work? I got to roll up my sleeves for this? I don't know. No, get with me later, dog. I ain't with it. So they continue doing the same thing over and over. But then when a person gets sick and they can't do anything to help themselves, it's just too late because they waited too late. Now they've been diagnosed and it's in the 4th stage. It's just a little different, isn't it? So I've made up my mind to help those who want to be helped, and making a choice to be strong, to have more energy, to be more focused, to make better choices are all a part of us, and I say Black people, to be healthier people. Now, some of the things, again, I wanted to go back to the sisters, that if you haven't gone in and gotten checkups, you haven't gone in to get examinations, please do so. This is really important. You know, you again are twice as likely to be diagnosed with stomach cancer, and you're 2.3 times more likely to die from stomach cancer. So this, even with that, you know, that's why all of the stuff that we talk about, like the colon therapy, for instance, eating more fiber, you know, this stuff, like meat doesn't have fiber in it. You know, stop being afraid to, you know, like meat doesn't have fiber in it. If you're going to eat meat and you're going to go to your grave with it, eat less then. Stop eating a whole shank, a whole half of a cow, or, you know, pig, or you're eating too much of it. And this will increase disease. It will increase illness, it will increase infections, and it will increase death. So you know that now. So what you gonna do with it? That is the important thing. That's important. You're not here just by mistake this morning. This is something that you need to hear. The gastrointestinal microbiota plays an important part in modifying many of the components of our diet to impact human health. And that's what we're about. We're about doing the things that will impact our health. I ain't saying this just because I have nothing to do this morning. I am saying this because I want you to be successful in using the knowledge. And we have ample knowledge all around us. But again, we have been definitely misguided over the years. I want to go back to remember what lignans are. Lignans are fiber-associated compounds found in many foods, and particularly the plentiful in flaxseed. Flaxseed is actually wonderful, even the flaxseed oil, for anti-inflammatory purposes. This is really important to get in your body, get in your refrigerator, get in your cabinet. Make sure that you have the things that keep you healthy, You ain't not going to have a lot of people running over your house because you got healthy food. You know why? Because they want the junk. You know why? Because they think it's the taste. But you don't have to compromise the taste for the effectiveness and the health in the food that you're eating. You don't have to compromise that. It is in the food already. It's built in. What other gift you want? You got the vitamins, the minerals, the polyphenols. You have the phytochemicals. All of that is in the food. And when we eat the food, that food then is broken down and the nutrients are absorbed in our body so that we can be healthy. You see? And all of that is the things that allow us to have energy and go throughout the day with plenty of energy out our week, our year, and so forth. There's just so much I want to just say all at the same time, but cancer is harder to treat when you don't go get that diagnosis. Stop being afraid. I did a colon, what did I do?
Colonoscopy.
Colonoscopy, all these colon. Yeah, the colon, I did the colonoscopy not too long ago, right?
Right.
And I did it. We recorded it so everybody could see it. Yeah, and this shit is scary when you don't know. You know what I was mostly afraid of? Of my thoughts. My thoughts when I was thinking, oh God, they're gonna put you to sleep. I didn't know they was gonna do that now, because I remember when and you start comparing stuff, and you like, oh man, am I gonna wake up? I mean, all of that stuff was in my head. But again, it is fear. And that fear, the only way you get rid of fear is you face it. You can't run away from it. It gets bigger. You want to face it and you want to do it. You can talk to Yolanda about fear. Yolanda has definitely changed her whole life. She's gotten rid of that fear if she had it at all. And now she's just so, every time you see a photo of her, she's doing healthier things. She's spreading the word. Really good. And that's the same thing I was talking about. Michelle Glass Franklin. You see that sister, you find out more about. She is just so wonderful. I want to welcome Zerzix Reamer. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. I just really appreciate it. You got a long time. And happy holidays to you and your beautiful family. Thank you very much. Carolyn, how do you say this? What's this? Kinesi? What's the name here? The African name? Kamizi?
Shanizi.
Oh, Shanizi. Okay, all right. I can remember that. Shanizi, thank you very much. You're always here, and I we really appreciate you about that. Let me see. He says, so true. I never thought my skin could burn. Yeah, we was probably talking about that SPF. You got to have at least SPF 30 always on your skin, especially when you live out here in LA. Black people get skin cancer too. So carcinoma doesn't say, oh, black person, I don't, it's like you got to take care of yourself. I wanted to move along just to talk about a little bit about your husbands, your boyfriends, your children, and men, so that you will understand the importance here. The most common cancer on men and black men. And the reason I say that, just men and not boys and stuff, because as they grow into men after the age of 40 years old, they should start getting a DRE, or they'll get a examination. It's a new examination that they use by extrapolating blood from your just taking a blood sample, a couple of vials. But it's the most common is the DRE, and this is the digital rectal examination. But hormone therapy is also known as the anti-androgen therapy, and it plays a crucial role in temporarily halting the growth of prostate cancer cells. Again, going back, I'm a man, and I know that we have been taught as men that, hey man, take it, man. When you want to cry, stop crying, man. You ain't nothing but a punk, man. That kind of stuff. Don't come up with that saying, because that's a lot of cockadoodie. So make sure that men, when you have well, I'm gonna say when you have time, make time to go and check out and see what's the hell happened with your body. You shouldn't be guessing and waiting until something happens to you before you go and get your body checked. You know, there's no easy way to say this. I've attempted to talk about health in a softer voice, in a slower way. I've bring the tone down and all that. Cannot do it. We got so much to catch up on. We're so illiterate when it comes to nutrition that we can't get it. I don't know why it's such a secret. I don't know why there are 7,000 people right now waiting for some spot to become available to hear what we're talking about. That's how I think that we have a lot of work to do. But I know that when I do these presentations, I know what to expect because I know the damage that's done on our people. So when we talk to a sister, we talk to a brother, or we see parents that's not feeding their children healthier food, I know it's the work that's done on that mind to allow us to keep on doing that. But with your help, we can make some definitely some changes. Over time, however, the majority of patients eventually see their cancer return, and it progresses, it underscoring the pressing need to continue advancements to enhance clinical outcomes. Prostate cancer, the most commonly diagnosed cancer in Black men. Prostate cancer accounts for 37% of all new cancer cases. Mortality rates are more than twice as high among Black men as in white men. Now, identifying the metabolic alterations and understanding the patterns of cancer cells could be a critical component of developing new cancer treatments. So that means to get in there, make sure you get your, if you don't have your insurance together, get your insurance together. Do what it takes. Find out where you can go. You find out if there are any government programs. Find out what urgent care center maybe that you can get on the government program that is helpful for you. Medicare, Medi-Cal, Medicaid rather, and you can use these different, and there's maybe other things that you can get involved with so that you can take care of you. There are two types of cells when it comes to the prostate: the basal cell and the luminal cells. Whether the cancer initially starts in the basal cell or the luminal cell, it is almost or always takes on the properties of the luminal cells as the cancer grows. But over time and in the response to treatment, some tumors become less luminal. When a tumor is very luminal, it is more treatable using hormone therapy. Now, you can't do this stuff at home. You got to do this stuff. You go to the urgent care center, you go to the hospital, you go to your doctor's clinic and so forth, and you get these things. You tell them what you're there for specifically so they can treat you specifically. Let's move on just a little bit here. Carolyn, at this time, before I move on, any questions or any comments? Anything on your mind you want to share?
Yes, there's a comment that Michelle made that I feel is really great information here. Fear is a false evidence appearing to be real. Studies have shown that African American die at a higher rate than other race. The real fact shows that it's not that we African Americans get cancer more than other race. It's that we just don't go and get checked out. And when we do finally go, we are diagnosed and the cancer is in the later stages and harder to treat. And I absolutely agree with that. Thank you so much for that, Michelle.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great, sis, because you know that is actually when we just keep on putting it to the side, that's what happens. We end up, like you in fourth stage. What the hell? What happened earlier on? Because people aren't getting checked out. We have Malia is in the house. Malia Iyana Jones is in the house. That's a beautiful name, isn't it? Malia.
It is. Hey, my Leah, thank you for tuning in from Nevada.
Yeah, all the way from Nevada. And we have, who else is out of town? Oh, yeah, we have Lily. I mean, Shirley is way out. She said somewhere earlier. Yeah, but thank you very much. We got somebody from Pittsburgh. That's that's Michelle. She's in Pittsburgh. Very cool. And yeah, thank you very much for everybody for being here. Really, really appreciate you being here. I wanted to say, about Malia. She is another person that you can definitely, she is definitely a soldier. She stays on it. She lives a life. She makes it happen. Strong, comes from a strong mother. Wow, Shar is just incredible. People that take knowledge and act on it, and that's what it's all about. I wanted to go over some cancer fighting foods, but before that, I want to say that the some of the cancer or prostate cancer, most doctors now are saying that theoretically that is inherited, and like before it was like if you eat like this and you act like this. But now the more doctors are talking about it in the genetic sense, and the the factors, the biofactors, it could be that it is inherited now. So the studies that have shown that the prostate cancer in Black men has a different genetic profile. The mutations that they are, they're different, and they're different from other cultures. So even we are a different people, and we do need some things to be specifically for the kind of people we are, our culture. Now, it's a more aggressive cancer, and at diagnoses, we prevent at diagnosis, we present with a higher stage of cancer. So, brothers, what's happening is that we're going to the doctor too late. We're getting these examinations too late. We wait until we dribble. We do have a soft stream. We can't get an erection. We have pain. We can't urinate. We wait until we have all of these things, and then we go and rush in, save my life. But you got to get used to doing things before it happened. Don't lead your life with ignorance. Lead your life with light. Here are some of the things that you can add to your list, and then we're going to get on out of here. Cares, hang on with me, Care. We're going. I know you. We're going to make sure that we acknowledge everybody's time and importance.
I'm here with you. Just wanted to say I'm here with you. I know we had tech issues, and I'm usually tapping on my imaginary watch in the backstage, but this one we got it. So keep on going.
Thank you very much. Thank you very. Okay, so here we go. First, everybody, put this on your list: moringa tea. Now, moringa tea or moringa leaf tea. This is really important for the nutrients from the plant, the phytonutrients. And this is very important because the phytonutrients are deadly when used to fight against cancer cells. And I'm talking about the phytonutrients in this tea. This is something that if you have cancer cells or you want to prevent yourself from cancer cells, this particular tea is said to be a very powerful choice. And it's concentrated with the source of fats, those healthy fats, proteins, carotenoids, vitamin C, iron, potassium, and other nutrients. Next, I want you to put one of my favorites, garlic. Make sure you have that on your list. Get garlic in your body. Thanks to research that We know that garlic is potent and it fights against breast, stomach, colon, blood, esophageal cancers, all of that. Those are the ones in particular. But in general, these are the carcinogens or the poisons and toxins that typically form in the stomach and sometimes in the intestines too. Carcinogens form when you ingest nitrates, which are commonly used in food when you're preserving food. So I know that you probably heard nitrates and how they changed to nitrites, and this is real. When we eat these different foods, the reason you say, "Ooh, this look better than this," or "this cheap costs a little bit less than this," a lot of times remember that foods can appeal to your senses, and if they've been sitting on these foods that stay in jars or cans for months at a time, and they're stored, and you start eating the stuff on a regular basis, it can be very, very disadvantageous to you. Beans are next. Add beans, everybody. The next time that someone tells you that you're tells you anything about, like, you don't want to take beans because they give you gas or any of those things, the knowledge of knowing how to cook them, making sure that you soak them, making sure some people even use baking soda to remove more. There's a whole lot of different ways that you can cook beans to reduce you can go on YouTube, and there's a few examples that'll give you a good idea of that. But back to the beans, back to the legumes. They are delicious. They are filled with all kinds of phytochemicals. Phytochemicals just means plant chemicals. And these are the ones that we need for our body. This is mostly due to the fact that we consume a lot of beans, and we have some really great ones. And our levels of the fatty acid butyrate increase. In high amounts, these fatty acids, they stop any cancer cells. And any cancer cells that you have that's growing, and they're multiplying. In other studies in the journal Crop Science, dried beans are found to be highly potent in preventing breast cancer in rats. They did the studies. And some people are still tripping off what they did to move on. And now I was just saying it because, some people just that's just where they are. Apple cider vinegar, everybody. I know everybody have a little bit of ACV. Now, apple cider vinegar is very important. It's being used as an appealing alternative medicine in general and alternative cancer treatments all over the world. The taste does take a little bit of time to get used to that taste if you just down it and just drinking it. But if you sprinkle it out on a salad, or you mix it with that extra virgin olive oil, or you put it together with other different seasonings, you got to a really great combination. So that is, keep that in mind, because those cancer cells need something to counter them as you are eating. And when you eat, you should be eating the foods that help you. There's a Nobel Prize winner. His name is Otto Warburg, and he suggested, this was back in the 1900s, that the cancer cells in the body cannot thrive in a state of alkalinity. And he saw that as cancer cells grew, they happily produced lactic acid. So far, the studies in animals have proved that Otto was right all that time. And the cancer cells that were found to grow more freely in the acidic internal environment. Unlike other kinds of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, once ingested, has an alkalizing effect on the entire body. And this essentially turns your body into a hostile environment, not only for cancer, but numerous other diseases in general. Did you know that? That's incredible. And that's just an apple cider vinegar. Now, because there's a quarter after, I'm just going to just run down these really fast. Add these to your list. Broccoli. Broccoli is super important. This compound, it spells the death knell for cancer and its insidious claws, thanks to the ability to eradicate the toxins ruthlessly. And that's what broccoli does. Did you know that broccoli worked against cancer? Berries is another one. Berries is important. Now, all of the stuff has been researched, but the research has shown that the berries are particularly effective against oral, colon, esophageal, and skin cancer. This is talking about berries. Only a half a cup or about 150 grams of berries a day will make a difference in the results that you get in killing these cancer cells. A half a cup or 150 grams of berries a day may just help to keep the chemo away, or it's a substitute, or it can work in conjunction, I should say, because if I say substitute, I don't want to hear, I'm taking you to court because you said to do it and I did it, and I want some money. So we don't want that. So all berries, by the way, that contain phytonutrients, but black raspberries contain the highest concentration of phytochemicals called anthocyanins. Really write that down. Here we go with the next one, the leafy greens or the leafy green veggies. Very important in the minerals, the vitamins, and the key nutrients. And you can get more, eat more of this every day. Your spinach, romaine, lettuce, your cabbage, your kale, bok choy, watercress, collard greens, and literally any vegetable that you eat has some kind of quality or some kind of power to fight against these different poisons and the cancers in the body. And again, remember, it's like to be proactive. You don't want them to grow in your body, period. Now, there's a lot of, I wanted to say curcumin. Now, curcumin in turmeric, for instance, turmeric, turmeric, it doesn't matter. As long as you know what you're talking about and you conveying it to somebody that knows, that's what I'm talking about. But the curcumin has long been held as a super tool when it comes to nailing cancer to the coffin. But it was found to kill only 63% of cancerous pancreatic cells, compared to almost 90% killed by Garcinia, the Garcinia. Now, you probably heard of Garcinia cambogia. Now, some people have abused it, using it because they want to lose a lot of weight and they overdid it. And remember, again, we talked about extremes before. Don't overdo it. So Garcinia cambogia can be very effective when used in a proper dosage. Garcinia has been found to be effective in helping and to manage breast cancer and lung cancer and the cancers in the head and neck, cancer of the colon, and cancer of the blood, leukemia. So all of that is important. Remember, tomatoes, tomatoes are super important, and this is good for endometrial in women, lung and prostate in men, and stomach cancers. These are foods that you can eat, and yeah, you can eat them in different styles. You can cook it with soup. You can make a paste out of tomatoes. You can eat them raw in the salad, and it goes on and on. Rooibos tea. Now, when you see Rooibos tea, a lot of us don't. There's a great story behind it, but I want to go over it today. Rooibos tea is very important. In a study conducted on rats, doses of this plant extract increased the glutathione by 400%. Now, this is a critical discovery, as pure glutathione cannot be taken orally. The Cancer Association of South America has was excited to learn that the Rooibos tea increased the ratio of reduced glutathione to oxidized thione by 100% in people who drank 6 cups a day over a period of 90 days. Wow. You're talking about a cancer butt kicker. Rooibos tea. It comes from, this is one of the teas that comes from South Africa. And there's a great story behind it. But like I said, we'll talk about that later on, but it's been around for centuries. Turmeric and other herbs and spices. Keep that in mind. Your orange colored fruits and vegetables. This is really important because when we say orange, we're talking about alpha carotene. We're talking about beta carotene, lycopene, and we're talking about lutein and the cryptoxanthin. All of those comes from the orange. Orange, the more orange, the better it is. Of these, the beta carotene is the most well known in research, and essentially, this is also the nutrients and the phytochemicals are wonderful for the immune system function. It also aids in detoxification of your liver, and it also helps fighting the cancers of your skin, your eyes, and your organs. Oh, tamarind. You ever heard of that before? I think Carolyn's a Belizean, so she knows about this. Talk to us a little bit about tamarind.
Oh, I mean, the way I've eaten it is pretty much it's a fruit, and it comes in what looks like it's a pea in a pod, but it's brown and it's a hard shell pea in a pod looking fruit, and it's so good. My mouth is watering just thinking about it.
I know. I said, come back, Carolyn, come back.
I know.
All right. This is great.
It's really good, and it's great for fiber as well. I'll let you continue, Dr. Zari.
Thank you. Okay, so green tea is also another one, everybody. This is what I have practically every day. Oh, I thought I had some in here. I had some earlier when I got up. I got up very early this morning, and I had green tea. Very good. Unrefined oils are great also, and this is really important. I'm talking about flaxseed oil, coconut oil, cod oil. Yeah, those people that take cod liver oil, that it's your choice, but is also on the list. And extra virgin olive oil are all great unrefined and cold pressed oils. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for being very patient, and we're getting it together. It's really great to have you here. Pass on the information, one and all. We really appreciate it. Carolyn, let's closing words.
Yes, absolutely. I just wanted to, I'm always highlighting in the comments because I really love when you guys leave comments and just the information from Yolanda. She says, I do the Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar, and the doctor says, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. My A1C has been 5.3 for over 12 years or more, and been diabetes free for 5 years now. Love that. And I think Dr. Zari just dropped my comment. And I did a few, she's also saying she did a few lifestyle changes to the food that she eats and exercise. Thanks for sharing, Dr. Z. I love that information.
Great. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. You've been doing great. I always brag about you all the time because you're making it happen, and that's awesome. I wanted to. There's a lifetime probability of being diagnosed with cancer among Black men and women is 38% and 34% respectively, compared to 41% and 40% respectively among white men and women. And that means that to compare that, Black men 38% and Black women 34%. As far as the lifetime probability of being diagnosed with cancer. Okay, so that means that we have a higher chance, a higher risk of getting cancer. I don't know how else to say it, y'all. I don't know how else to say it. Let me say this, if you're in churches, Tell your church people to get somebody over there to start talking about this. I'll come to your church. I don't know why this stuff isn't welcome in your church. You go to, wherever you go, tell your people. I don't care about being in front of the whole church. You can have a little meeting there for those people that want to find out more information, but get some doctors in there. You have doctors at these churches to start talking about things that make us happy, healthier. You shouldn't have to worry about men. We shouldn't have to be worrying about breast cancer, but we do. Well, women, we shouldn't have to be worrying about the different diseases that we're faced with. Take care of that body. Know what's happened inside as well as outside of it. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Thank you so much, Carolyn. It's been really wonderful. We got a real good start. Really appreciate you being here. You look great. I love the shine on you. You're letting the light shine, and really, really appreciate it. Carolyn, for those of you that don't know, we teamed up over 2 years ago now.
Yes.
We started Clubhouse, and we've been doing it. I mean, it's just really, we've been really making a lot of great advances, helping people, and we love it. And I see all the love that comes from the comments. Really appreciate that, everybody, because let's give it up for Carolyn, y'all. Yeah. All right. Doing. So thank you very much for all your help. And thank you very much, one and all of you. We actually truly love you. This is our way of showing that. Hey, Michael Carlisle, my brother is here from Detroit, man. Great. I'm glad. I'm so glad to see that you're there. Michael Carlisle is among many things, one of the most talented men I've ever met in my life. We grew up together, man. We were very instrumental in teaching. I mean, over 40 years ago, teaching children in the neighborhood. And look at me, I'm still youthful and happy. Hey, you know what? I'm glad to see you. So glad to see you, Michael. Thank you very much. Yeah, the food makes a difference, everybody. I'm telling you. I'm looking at people that have, now that I've known, and their children have children. And I'm like, I never even thought about that. I remember when I have grandchildren now. And I remember when I first heard one of my granddaughters say, Granddad, you ready to eat? And I said, oh, that's me. And it's like, Granddad, I couldn't, I'm still playing ball and stuff. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, hold on. But I embrace it. I love it. It's really great. That's another thing I learned from Michelle Franklin. She's a walking love boat. She just really has so much love for her family, and she looks out man, I can go on and talk about her all the time. It's really great. And her husband, man, is one of the funkiest dudes I know. One that understands what it means on the 2 and the 4. Boy, he is a walking encyclopedia when it comes to the sound. I really love that. That's what I love to do. You see, I don't want to get out of here, but we got to go. Thank you very much, Carolyn. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Remember, next week, we're going to be here at 8 a.m. Remember, we get on, we get off, and we're getting better with it, okay? Love to each and one of you. Have a very great holiday season, and we'll see you next week. Oh, by the way, go on to drzarif.com and check out my new combination of herbs. And if there's something there that you like, be much obliged that you get it. All right, check it out and get Slaves of the Tongue, my book. I had to get a commercial on. I hardly ever do that. All right, love to you all. We'll see you later. Thank you. Peace.